Back-to-back weeks of perfect weather at Ralph Johnson Field, and we are set for week number 2 of Sparkplug football. You're watching the Speedway Sports Network on SCTV, and it is Youth Sports Night with a junior football program being recognized at halftime. My name is Landon Kleindorfer, and with me is Alex Binzagala. Alex, this is a team that last week, I think, kind of surprised everybody. They're coming off of a season where they had one win on senior day at the end of the year, but last Friday, I should say, a sophomore quarterback, 7 touchdowns, 352 yards in Connor Battle.
What a night for Battle, as you said, the sophomore, 12 for 19, 352 whopping yards, 7 touchdowns in that 47-19 win over Heritage Christian. Might have surprised a lot of people, but hey, they are now 1-0 and trying to continue that momentum from last week.
Absolutely, and that 352 yards ranks number 4th in the state of Indiana for Battle. 7 touchdowns is tied for first. The opponent tonight, Arsenal Tech, coming into this game, they lost to Noblesville 64-0. As the lineup coming out here onto the field, your Sparkplugs rushing out with the flag and with that beautiful sports logo, with the IMS logo dead center, and they will meet at the 50-yard line. But, you know, Alex, it was a bit of a surprise, but I think that the most promising thing was the fact that it was sort of a play by committee, receiving by committee. That receiving core was fantastic, and it all started with Miles Cessna-Wells, 175 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns as well. Also,
you have to credit the offensive and defensive lines for setting the tone and keeping Connor Battle on his feet and giving him great alleys to throw the football.
Yeah, and I mean, it was people like Keller Sox as well as Ashola who also got the job done. Sox had a pair of touchdowns. Ashola had a 47-yard touchdown as well. And actually, the running back was the one who set that tone, 51 yards from the backfield on a receiving touchdown, Amari Forbes. But I really think that there's only one knock on this team right now, and it's the fact that the rushing game wasn't necessarily what you would have expected. Forbes only rushes for 17 yards, and most of that came in the second half of the game. The only other rusher in the game was Keller Sox. He had a couple of different plays out of the backfield coming in motion where he ended up with 49 rushing yards as well.
And it's a great opportunity this week against an Arsenal Tech Titans team that is reeling, coming off a tough loss. They'll be looking for Anquan Broner to make some plays. He had a good game, but they need touchdowns, and you know the pace of the game is going to be very important in this one. And obviously, if you're Speedway and the Sparkplugs, you want a fast start against a Tech Titans team that has struggled to get going offensively.
And talking about getting going offensively, one player that I expected to hear a little bit from, but maybe just too many mouths to feed in that first week 1 game, was Caleb Finters, one of the captains on this squad. As you see the captains going out there, it is Caleb Finters, Mazid Ashola, along with Keller Sox and Tyler Bailey, the offensive lineman, and the offensive line playing fantastic, giving a lot of security for their quarterback, Connor Battle. Tonight's officials are sponsored by 2020 Eye Physicians of Indiana. With 2 convenient locations in Speedway and Indianapolis, the doctors at 2020 provide the high-quality eye care patients deserve, helping everyone see the court more clearly. So we'll see what that coin toss is. Last week, losing the coin toss, or I guess I should say that the opponent won the coin toss, and so Speedway started with the football and they got things done in their first 2 possessions. So we'll see if the story is the same here today.
And if you're Tech on the other side, you have to find a way to move the football, get first downs, and you can't let Battle have the football. So you have to move those chains early and protect the ball if you're Tech, because as we saw last week, it could get out of hand quick.
And I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because one player that stood out on the defensive end for the Sparkplugs was Nathan Chapman, the junior linebacker. When they played last week, it was an offense that was very difficult to read. They had 3 running backs in the backfield. You were never really sure where the ball was going to go. Chapman was sure every single play. He seemed like he was in the backfield more times than not, and he was really fast getting to the football. We'll see if he can continue that trend here against a team who will more than likely run a few different plays, not out of the same formation like we saw last week.
Absolutely. Let's get set for the starting lineups in this one, but first, both teams are getting ready. My keys to the game is simple. Speedway, win on early downs offensively, see if you can get the running game and then the play action game going, and try to get Tech Titans on the heel early. And then for the Titans, they're going to have to find a way to get points as look for their offense to try to move the chains inside, but they have to find a way to win on 3rd and short as well.
And later in the game, or later in the broadcast, I should say, we'll be joined by Matt Arnold, the president of Speedway Junior Football. As I mentioned, that program will be recognized at halftime, so that'll be very interesting to see, but it looks like the Sparkplugs are going to be starting with the football in back-to-back weeks. And so we'll see what happens. We actually talked a little bit about it off air, but this is a dangerous return team. You've got Mazid Ashola back there, and I just briefly mentioned to you, not a guy you want to kick to. If you've watched any film on the Sparkplugs, even going back to last season, that is not a guy that you want to put the football in their hands when there's open field in front of them.
It's also his birthday.
Yes,
Happy birthday to him. It would be great to see him find the end zone tonight.
That would be an intriguing thing to see as well. Keller Sox likely to be back there. Yes, he will. Keller Sox, no slouch himself. I don't want to take anything away from Sox, but I will say we have already seen the proof in the pudding whenever it comes to Ashola and his return ability. He is good to take the ball to around the 50-yard line anytime he touches it, so we'll see what happens.
The kick coming left to right for Tech.
And the kicker for Arsenal Tech. I don't see a number 70 in the lineup, but
short kick.
Short kick indeed, but Ashola will return this one, and he's going to try to break this out to the 30-yard line, and he loses the football, and we'll see if they mark him down. Otherwise, it's going to be Arsenal Tech's ball, and it is.
Ashola took it outside the numbers, past the 30, and just lost it to the boundary, and that is what Tech really wanted to start the game. Perfect start for them.
And he had his eyes on the prize. He was trying to bounce it outside. He was really worried about keeping his feet and instead lost track of what was going on with his arms. Loses the football. Great field position to start things off here for Arsenal Tech.
Speedway's defense came up big last week, allowing just 19 in that win. And this is a big opportunity for them. Tech looking for their first points.
So we'll get the first opportunity. Thought it was going to be the first opportunity to see the Sparkplugs offense. Instead, it will be the Titans. And it's going to be Xavier Williams under center, 3 running backs in the backfield, something that Speedway's already seen. And it looks like a broken play, so he's going to have to take it himself, and he'll be tackled down after a 3-yard gain. I don't think that's exactly how he drew it up because he went for the handoff and there was nobody there.
It's a 3-man front for Speedway and showing blitz as Chapman, he sprints through the A-gap, forcing the run to the outside, and a medium game there.
And not surprised to be mentioning his name because, like I said, this defense does not look a whole lot different, especially on that first play, is what they expected to see last week. And so we'll see if they change it up here, and they do. It will be in the shotgun this time for Williams. 2nd down and 9. And actually Williams in the backfield that time. It was Kalandre Townsend under center, and maybe he lost the football. No, the official's going to say down before losing that football. So possession stays with the Titans. The ball moves up to the 30-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd down and long.
It was hard to tell who nearly forced that fumble, but now sets up 3rd and long, 3rd and 6, passing down for the Titans.
And so Townsend comes back into the huddle here. He was under center on the last play. I wrongfully identified him as Xavier Williams, who was actually the ball carrier. The other 2 backs back there, and Andrew Booker, as Booker gets the football this time, and he will be short of that line to gain by about 2 yards. So we'll see if Tech keeps the offense out here or if they elect to take the field goal. And it looks like the offense is going to stay out there on the field.
Stretch play to the left for Booker, sets up 4th and 2. Let's see what the Titans will try to order in a scoreless first quarter.
And they bring in Quentin Thomas as one of the running backs. He comes in for Williams. So under center again, they will hand it off, a fullback dive, and that is going to be a tackle in the backfield and a turnover on downs. It's Keller Sox. mentioned him a lot on the offensive side, but he gets it done early here on defense.
Dear mama, what a play by Sox. He sprints into the left. Hey, if he doesn't make that tackle, he's free for not just a first down, but maybe much, much more. Big play from Sox, and it's a great opportunity for the offense to take over after turning it over on just one play.
And on that handoff, it looked like it was going to get stuffed as soon as the handoff happened, and it was one-on-one with Sox. And like you mentioned, if he doesn't make that tackle, it was all fresh grass between him and the end zone, or I should say fresh turf. So now we get the offense out there, a couple of players in motion as they'll go bunch over to the left side. And Battle will hand this one off to Forbes. Forbes trying to get the outside. He's got it, plenty of space to run, and he is at the 50-yard line, across the 50-yard line, down at the 49.
Well blocked on the outside, brought double tights to the left, and just a great vision run that time by Amari Forbes, and a big first down.
23-yard carry on the first offensive play of the game for the Sparkplugs. Already a much better outing on the ground for Forbes. Obviously was great as a receiving back in the last game. Battle back in the shotgun with Forbes to his right. Sox will come in motion, and they will hand it off to him on the sweep. Sweep goes to the outside, and he hops over one defender and is eventually taken down across the 45, call it the 42.
Speedway showing a little bit more exotic looks offensively. They sweep it left and right as Battle hasn't really taken a shot yet, but what they're trying to do is soften them up and pick up early downs and then make plays after that.
And that was a play that they really liked in their game last week. That jet sweep ran it about 3 different times for Sox coming out of motion. Battle back to pass this time. First pass attempt. He's got a receiver, and he just misses the outstretched hands of Finter. Caleb Finter couldn't get a hold of that one. Maybe one of those situations a little too open. He just missed it.
You know, those were throws that he was hitting constantly last week. Had a pretty good touch, but just a slight overthrow sets up third down.
3rd down and 4 at the 42-yard line here for the Sparkplugs. You have to imagine that this is 4-down territory, knowing the way that they expect their offense to run. Battle takes a snap. He'll hand this one off to Forbes. Good blocks in the middle. Forbes has a lot of space, bouncing it outside across the 20-yard line, taken down inside the 15.
What a run, but credit the offensive lineman Tyler Bailey with a big block up front. First and goal, and first down and 10.
So they go from the 42 to the 14-yard line, and again, those lead blockers getting it done.
Forbes also doing a great job with the vision, cutting it to the outside for a big first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 14. Bunch over to the left side, and whistle's going to blow here, under 8 minutes to go, and a timeout going to be taken. First Financial Bank is proud to support the Speedway community. Banking is about neighbors helping neighbors, and it always will be. First Financial Bank, member FDIC. So far, so good for the offense of the Sparkplugs. Obviously had that mental error on the kickoff return, but the defense gets it done, getting the turnover on downs, and now the offense rolling.
And now it's a chance to really see what they can do in the red zone. Again, we haven't really called out Connor Battle's name in the passing game because they've been moving their pieces from left and right. Forbes is doing a good job of running between the hash marks too, between the tackles. So, and we will see Arsenal Tech here defensively. One concern they have is they're not a deep team. So with that mindset, you have to find a way to get a stop here.
And you're especially going to want those stops early in the game. You're going to want to be able to put up points on the board, and you get turnovers like we saw earlier. because you've got a lot of players playing two ways. And I'll tell you, it's warm outside right now. So those players might start to fatigue a little bit here in week 2 as they get into that fourth quarter. So you want to take advantage of opportunities, and they just haven't been able to do that right now. Meanwhile, the Sparkplugs are hunting for the end zone as they come back out of here, out of the timeout. And that timeout was taken by Speedway.
In the backfield is Noah Reynoso.
Cessna Wells in motion. Jumbo front. Reynoso gets the football taken down in the backfield.
Hey, what a play by Caleb Neely for Tech. He just sprints inside, makes a big tackle for his team. You know, I've been impressed with the Titans. You know, they play hard. You know, they have some good athletes on the field. They're just looking to find the end zone and try to stay in the football game.
Absolutely, and the big thing is going to be something I talked about last week. How does this offensive line perform? Last week, I think it was a big check mark. They looked great for Speedway. We'll see if they can continue to do that. The blocks downfield have been fantastic thus far. Battle back to pass, going to fire middle of the field, and that one is going to be caught and lost for a second. No, he was able to bring that back in. That was Mazida Shola.
Jordan Moore on the stop for Arsenal Tech.
First completion of the day for Battle.
Seems like man-to-man defense, and so far for Battle, he hasn't really dropped back 3 steps and had a clean pocket to throw the football. Stacked receivers to the right.
Forbes back into the backfield for the Sparkplugs. Sox comes in motion. That's going to be the jet sweep over to the left side. So there's some free space, cutting it upfield, diving for the end zone. He lost the football, but I think he broke the plane. Even if he didn't, it's going to be a touchdown for the Sparkplugs, and Sox is in for the score.
Again, that jet sweep to the left of the formation. As we see the replay here, Sox gets outside, and a help from Miles Cessna Wells on the block. So far, Speedway's been able to use those motions, use those sweeps to their advantage.
And it really seems like, you know, this was a team that was able to throw the ball down the field successfully last week. Now this week they are doing a great job in the ground game. The kick was good, but a flag does come in on that kick. We'll wait to see what that call is going to be. It came from one of the judges actually underneath the goalposts.
Interesting.
I don't know, possibly like a leverage situation. Get the call here from the white cap. And the kicking unit for the Sparkplugs coming off the field. It is a personal foul. And so they are going to decline that one, or they're going to put it on the kick. We'll actually see. Yes, they are going to put that on the kick. So likely not going to see much of a return here from Arsenal Tech. It's going to be 15 yards added to that kick. But, you know, break down that entire drive. What was it that you liked? What did you see from Speedway that seemed like it was successful that led to that touchdown?
I think first, let's start with Amari Forbes. He picked up a big key first down to get into the red zone. And I think the big positive right now is they're moving the football on the ground. They don't have to throw the ball 20, 30 yards downfield. Remember all the explosives they got last week? They're taking what the defense is giving them, and that has allowed them to take the early lead.
Well, I mentioned the rushing game last week for Forbes, 17 yards on the ground. He's at 51 already in the first drive of the game. So things have certainly opened up on that side of things. Also,
Little key as well for Battle. What a day he had last week. So far, just 12 passing yards.
Yeah, 12 passing yards on 1 completion thus far. That one was the play just prior to the touchdown. And you don't get to see it very often, but the kicking team lined up on the Arsenal Tech side of things at the 45-yard line. And so we'll see a lot of times, you know, you'll decide to kick it short because you know that your return team can get in place and possibly give them worse field position. But we'll see what happens here off the boot of Eli Bishop.
Anquan Broner deep to receive as well to the right.
And they do just decide to kick this one through the end zone, and so a touchback here from the Sparkplugs will put Arsenal Tech back in business. They were stuffed after being given fantastic field position on their first drive. The defense looked very savvy, and again, it was a player that I mentioned a ton last week, Nathan Chapman, who was able to get things done.
And if you are Arsenal Tech, you look at the score right now and say, hey, we're only down one score, but they have to stay in the football game. They need to pick up first downs, and you know what Speedway's going to try to do. They're trying to get the football and get this to a 2-score game.
Only one running back in the backfield here. And this one will be handed off and taken for 3 yards.
Short carry that time. But again, Chapman is in there to help make the tackle. So was Xavier Clemens. A young football team in some positions for Speedway, and they're veterans in others.
Coming back out here, 2nd down and 7 for the Arsenal Tech Titans. Under center once more for Townsend. And the whistle comes in as it was Chapman who got a little fleet of foot, jumped across the line of scrimmage. In his defense, it was a player coming in motion. He thought that player was taken off on the snap.
Yeah, but if you're Speedway, you don't want to see penalties like that to set up 2nd and short.
So coming off of that big win, we've already seen a couple of mental errors. We've got the offside there, and then as well as the fumble on that kickoff return. But so far so good on the scoreboard, obviously, 7-0. Three backs in the backfield. And the QB going to try to take this outside, but too many white jerseys out there to defend it. And it was Keller Sox again who was able to get there first.
A bootleg run by Calandre Townsend to the left sideline, and not allowing him to get there again is Clemens. As look at just a bootleg to the left, and now it's 3rd and long.
That's a great way to eliminate a bad 5-yard penalty. You just knock them back 5 yards. It's a 5-yard loss for the Titans. Jamari Vincent in the backfield here. And it is a pass play, but Townsend going to dial his own number, and he is going to be walloped in the backfield.
Keller Sox the first one there. He shoots the gap so fast for Speedway.
And then Mazid Ashola was there to clean things up, and he took a big shot on Townsend. Might have been one of those where just live to fight another day, throw that one out of bounds. You know you're going to punt, but no sense in taking a big shot like that. You see him trying to sift through traffic, just couldn't do it. And then Ashola comes in there and cleans everything up.
Also on that tackle, Nathan Chapman.
So Ashola will be back to return this punt, but a timeout actually going to be taken. So already 2 timeouts taken by Speedway here in just the first quarter.
Really interesting first quarter. Back and forth on the opening 2 possessions. Both teams turned it over, but since Speedway starting to feel their way into the game, they get a big touchdown inside, and they're just trying to wear down the Titans here.
Well, you know, there's a lot of players that were underclassmen last season that got a lot of time on the Speedway defense, and now we're calling those players' names out now. You know, Keller Sox being one of those, Nathan Chapman being one of those players as well. There's just a lot of defensive players that are making an impact this season that you were prepared for them to make that step from last year to this year.
Also, starting quarterback as a sophomore, there's usually, when you start a sophomore quarterback, growing pains early on, but so far in the first 5 quarters of the season, Battle's done a really good job of managing the offense and managing the game. This game is totally different than last week. He was torching the defense last week. This time he's used his running attacks the jet sweeps, and it's just been a good start.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with the opponent that you're going up against with Arsenal Tech. I think that Speedway came into this game knowing that they were going to have an advantage physically, and whenever you can physically daunt the defense in the trenches, it makes the running game so much more potent.
Also for Tech, they've had a full week to prepare for battle too, which helps.
And so it's going to be Ashola back to return the punt. The punt, I don't know if there was contact. They're saying that there was. And so that is going to be a blocked punt, and it goes about 9 yards forward. Great field position to start things off for drive number 2 for Speedway.
Caleb Fenters comes in, makes the play, claps his hands afterwards, and you're starting to see the Sparkplugs try to pull away here in the first quarter.
So 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. And it's Connor Battle back there with Forbes. Back to pass this time. High throw to Sox, but he's able to get that one away. Battle did take a shot, but the pass was complete to Sox.
Hey, that's a change in formation. That's a 4-wide set, trips to the boundary, and then just a different look. And that's what you want to do if you're the Sparkplugs. Show different looks offensively. When you've been running the football, find open passes underneath too.
5-yard reception that time, 2nd down and 5. Battle picks up his 2nd completion of the game. Now 3 receivers over to the left side. And they are going to have Battle keep this one, and Battle fighting forward around that 1st down marker. And we'll see what the decision is on if they give that to him. Didn't use his legs a whole lot in the game last week. You're already seeing it here in the 1st quarter. They're going to be just a yard short.
That's a tough run. I typically don't like my sophomore quarterback running between the tackles that way, but he gets a healthy pickup.
4 yards on the carry, 3rd down and 1 here.
Look for potentially Amari Forbes, potentially on a short play.
And Forbes is going to get the carry. He's got a lot of space to the outside. One man to beat and into the end zone. Amari Forbes gets it done. Great blocking out in front. Had the one guy to beat and just kind of scooted in, and into the end zone he went.
Call me Alex Nostradamus Benzagala. The run to the left edge, and Forbes gets the touchdown.
21-yard rush into the end zone for Forbes, and that makes it a 2-score lead here. And no, actually, I take that back. I was looking down at the paper. It was a holding penalty called against the Sparkplugs. And so that is going to move them back. They did have a few of those last week, but they were able to recover from those penalty mistakes. We'll see if they're able to do the same thing here. The difference, though, it's going to make it 3rd down and long.
So Tech has a better opportunity now on 3rd and 11 to get off the field. This could be a big switch in momentum potentially how this goes. Big play here.
I have to say, calling these Speedway games, it's so much harder to see a penalty flag with the yellow pants. 3rd down and 11 from the 31-yard line. Battle will pass this time, middle of the field, and just misses on his intended target. That was Chapman.
Just a difference defense that they're facing. Man-to-man defense, throws it to the opposite shoulder. Just a different look.
And apparently they feel as though they're going to be able to pick up 11 yards here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and long. I do know that their kicker, Eli Bishop, was getting the kicking nod last year as well. He has the potential, but they're going to go ahead and keep the offense out there. So Battle drops back to pass, throwing this one down the field. Sox is there, and he's got it. Down to the 2-yard line for Keller Sox.
Kind of a wheel route concept to the left side. And also credit Miles Cessna Wells He's the inside receiver, and he brings the safety to come to him. And a great catch in traffic from the 2-yard line.
And actually, it was a great hit on that play. I had to take a moment just to make sure that he actually made the grab. As right back in business are the Sparkplugs down to the 3-yard line. This one going to be a boot out to the right side, wide open, Chapman touchdown.
And no one went with Chapman. They went to the inside target, inside receiver to make it a 2-score game. But again, it's set up by some big plays on 3rd and long.
8 touchdowns.
And let's see what the flag is. This one might be coming back.
I think that the flag actually came after the play, so they might, this should stand. It'll be on the 2-point convert, or on the PAT. Get the official decision here. Unsportsmanlike conduct going to come down. And they're actually going to put that on the kick. So the PAT still going to be in the same position. The snap, the kick, and it is good. So 14-0 the score. It'll be actually the second time now that we have seen a 15-yard penalty applied to the kickoff. It'll be coming different ways. Obviously it was Speedway kicking from the 45. Now it'll be moved back a little bit further.
Hey, points are points though, and they got it. That's the most important thing, because again, you're just trying to wear down Arsenal Tech. They're a team that hasn't scored any points yet this season, so you're still happy where you're at, but at the same time, if you're Speedway, they could clean up something, especially those penalties, and see if they can make this a 3-score game late in the first.
With it being 14-0, the only thing is going to be that kickoff return team. You're going to have to be very mindful of that.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
So right now, as I was talking about, the Sparkplugs, there have been some moments even, last week where the kick return team has been a little bit lackadaisical. Obviously a little bit more space on the return here. So it's just going to be one of those do your job type situations.
And the thing is, the Titans haven't really picked up a lot of first downs because Speedway's been really good defensively, forcing those 3rd and longs.
So this kick is away. It's actually going to bounce toward the 20-yard line before it is picked up and returned. One tackle misses, but they will get him down at the 29-yard line.
On the tackle, Bo Beiswinger, the freshman, makes a stop.
And that was Andrew Booker on the carry. Return there for the sophomore.
And if you're Tech right now, you got to get first downs. Can Anquan Broner get going? Can Kalandre Townsend get some plays from the quarterback position? The big difference, the defensive line for Speedway has really set the tone on that side of the ball, and they need to continue that.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. Townsend under center once more. Almost like a victory type formation, but the ball was actually fumbled. I think that's going to be a snap infraction.
Yeah, almost kind of like a double wing look too, with wing backs almost in an option formation.
It's the beauty of high school football. You're just going to see crazy formations every single week.
And again, I think it's a procedural penalty. Should be a false start on Arsenal Tech.
So before things can even get going, the ball going to be spotted back now at the 25-yard line.
False start on the offense. First down and 15.
And that's what you can't do if you're the Titans. Get penalties like that and fall behind the chains.
We'll see what they come out in here. Looks like everybody's coming this time. It's going to be a sweep out to the left side and trying to go backward to go forward. That's not going to work. Huge tackle for loss. Looks about like a 10-yard loss on the play.
Blake Stewart coming in with a big tackle. Also, how about Nathan Chapman on the edge? Forces him to the outside, and now sets up a big 2nd and 15.
Second a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it 25 yards there. But really good to hear the name of Blake Stewart. I mean, he was flying around last week, doing the same here this week. Corner on the defensive side.
Second down and 19.
Townsend back to pass this time. Pressure in his face immediately. He's going to escape to the outside and tackled down a little bit high, but I didn't see a flag come in. Looks like he might have gotten a shoulder pad.
Yeah, the problem right now that the Titans face is that Chapman is bringing A-gap pressure up the middle, forcing the quarterback to the outside, and there's really not much room for him to go. 3rd and long.
Under 40 seconds here in the first quarter. It's a 14-0 lead for the Sparkplugs. And now it is 3rd down and a mile. Three receivers out to the right side here. You have to assume they're going to be passing. Chapman in the backfield immediately, and a flag's going to come down. Probably a good thing that penalty flag comes in, because I can just tell you Chapman was coming in for that tackle on the quarterback. That was about to be a face mask.
Yeah, and right now the offensive line of the Titans are unable to pick him up, meaning, again, the quarterback's just scrambling for his life.
Chapman has had a couple of offside penalties so far in these first 2 games, and it's because he is always trying to get a great jump off the ball. They will continue to run the clock here on this first quarter. We'll see if they decide to snap it here. 8 seconds left on the clock. 3rd and 27. And they will snap it, throwing it out to the right side. A flag going to come down, and the tackle after a yard gain.
You know, he wanted to throw the football for a second, I think. And there's just nowhere to go. Nowhere to go at all.
See who this penalty winds up on. I have to assume it was some form of a hold.
And, you know, this first quarter has been marred by penalties. Both teams have turned it over, but penalties have hurt both teams so far in the first quarter.
And that penalty does go against the Sparkplugs, but that is the end of the first quarter. 14-0 is your score here from Ralph Johnson Field. And we've got a special guest here as he's all set up and ready to get things going. And it is Matt Apple, Speedway Youth Athletic Director. And, you know, Matt, obviously a football program type of a day, but we're talking a little bit about the rec basketball program and what's in store for the community.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me up here tonight, guys.
Absolutely.
It's been about 10 or 12 years here in the town of Speedway since we played what would be known as recreational basketball. I think the facilities and lack of facilities had been an issue in the past, but with the brand new Speedway Athletic Complex, that's going to afford us the opportunity to play rec ball here throughout the wintertime at a very affordable price of $25. So we're going to practice for 12 times, and we're going to play 6 weeks. We'll be done before Christmas.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, how exciting is it to bring this to our community, and what is the support so far?
The sport's been really good. This week I had the opportunity to visit all 4 of the elementary schools during their lunch, pass out our forms, make sure we're building relationships with the principals and everybody over there. It's been really good. We're over 50 registrants in the first week already, so that's very promising and absolutely a great opportunity for kids.
So for you, I mean, run me through it a little bit. I mean, how long of a process has this been to sort of get this off the ground, obviously knowing the distance between the last time that we had this in the community?
Yeah, for sure. I started here in April. I come from Warren Township for the last 21 years, retired from there, and I came over here to take the new position as the Youth Athletic Director here in our town. It's a collaborative position with the town of Speedway, the Parks and Recreation, the schools, and the youth leagues. And the first month I was here, around April, I started to find out that we didn't have a rec program, so to speak. So it's been an ongoing process, grabbing some sponsorships, getting some people involved. So we're really looking forward to starting here in October.
Well, Matt, I can tell you that we're excited to have this part of the program, and the second quarter gets underway. It starts off fantastic, but a flag is down on the play. And a face mask, it looks like, is going to be called. Just didn't see exactly where that play was.
Yeah.
It was a broken play from the start. The punt never actually went off. It's still going to be 4th down, and it's going to be against the Sparkplugs, just not anywhere near enough to try to get a first down. Still going to be 4th down and 20. But, you know, Matt, you know, also talking about the Speedway community and what this football program's kind of brought to us right now. A big surprise with that huge victory last week, and it's looking so far so good here this week as well.
Right, I think so too. It seems like a culture change here since I've been here, and what's going on in the weight room with Coach Morrison, and I saw him work all summer long on this, and to those of us that are inside the building, it might not be as much as a surprise as some think.
And it has been a tremendous start to the year. 14-0 now. That punt will be downed at the 45-yard line, so we'll get to see some more out of this dynamic offense, which has been fun to watch through the first 5 quarters of the season.
I love football. I'm here to talk rec basketball, but I'm a football coach myself, so I enjoy it. I enjoy the game. I enjoy Friday Night Lights. So I think there's a good thing going on here. Some young players that have showed. I think we're really good getting behind defenses here early in the season, and a lot of speed out there.
So getting back to the rec basketball program, when is everything going to get started? What's the official start date?
For sure. We're going to start with an evaluation night on the 20th and 21st of October. And then the following Monday night, we're going to move right into Monday, Wednesday night practices, Saturday morning traditional games like everyone would know. We are taking registrations right now. You can sign up online, or you can actually bring your $25 and the registration sheet back to your elementary school, and they'll get that over to me.
Awesome. Well, I suggest anybody who's watching or listening get their kids involved in the basketball program. I'm from Bedford, North Lawrence, so that's a big basketball area as well. My family being up here from Speedway, it's just awesome to see what's going on with the community.
Thank you for the opportunity to come out and talk about our program and our youth sports. It's really important, and I think you guys, as well as me, have friends that you grew up with and still friends today that you played ball with. So we're trying to build that in the community, make sure everybody has an opportunity at a very affordable price to get in and play some rec basketball this winter.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you coming on here. Again, that was Matt Apple, the Speedway Youth Athletics Director, talking about the rec basketball program back, and we are real excited about that.
Yeah.
Second down and 3 here to start it off. A big throw to the end zone and off the fingertips of the intended receiver. That was Max Murley, and he was actually he was the one who caught that ball on the last play.
Yeah, so first, the best throw of this first half for Battle. 2-step drop and both targets to Murley. The first one, a hip-high grab, that one outside the numbers.
First grab was 14 yards from Connor Battle. Just couldn't get that one completed off the fingertips. It'll be 3rd down and 4, as it'll be a run to Forbes. Forbes breaks between a couple of guys and squeaks forward for 2 yards. That's going to be 4th down and 2.
That's a great tackle from behind for Tech. One thing about them, it's hard to tell kind of their numbers, since we don't have a number 0, but he came from the backside to make the play. 4th down.
And they've already established the Sparkplug offense that they will be going for it on these 4th down and shorts. And actually, the last time they went for it was 4th down and 11. So we'll see what they draw up here. And the easy 1st down as the entire Titan team seemed to go across the line of scrimmage on that play.
And that's tough. That's 4th and 1. And that kills Tech. Came from the right side.
So it's a 1st down, and the ball spotted at the 18-yard line inside the red zone. And, you know, last week, a lot of scoring, but not a lot of red zone trips. It was a lot of big bombs in the passing game. Now they've been playing on the ground more consistently, and they've been able to get in the red zone on each of their touchdowns so far.
Look for Miles Cessna-Wells potentially near the red zone. Sox motions slot to the left.
Shola on the near side, looking toward the left side, open receiver, Sox, high points, touchdown!
What a play, what a throw and catch. Sox with his 2nd touchdown grab of the game gives Speedway a 3-touchdown lead. And what a drive for quarterback Connor Battle. Hit some key throws and finishes off with Keller Sox, a junior.
Look at the 2nd touchdown through the air so far in the game. It was Chapman now with Sox and a PAT upcoming. Definitive drive that time. Obviously good field position coming after the punt. Fingertips got on that one for the 2nd time.
Sox is also the holder on this one, and it's a good kick. 21-0. Speedway in front. Crucial drive coming up for Tech. They have to find a way to get something going as the tide is really turning.
Speedway Lions Club is a proud partner and supporter of the town of Speedway and Speedway schools. The club meets on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m. in the Speedway Municipal Center. More information about the club and about joining the club is available via email at speedwaylions@gmail.com. 21-0, as you said, partner, and again, I've said it before, but so far so good. This is sort of what we expected, was for the offense to be clicking and the defense to be flying around.
And I think the fact that quarterback Connor Battle hasn't thrown for 200 yards in the first half and they're still up 21-0 is a great testament to the balance they're trying to use in this first half.
Get a look at the replay and just tossing that one up for grabs, having faith in your receiver, and Sox comes down with it.
And what's so impressive is that the safety comes from his cover 2 spot, leaps up, can't make the play. It's actually good coverage, just a better throw and catch.
And, you know, as on fire as Battle started last game, the one person that he seemed to have a little bit of something off with in the first half was Sox, but then he came alive there in the 2nd half of last week's game, where he ended up having a few big rushes and connecting on 2 receiving touchdowns in that 2nd half. Ever since then, he has looked fantastic, both on the offensive and the defensive ends, as this one going to be returned from the 10-yard line and broken to the outside, and it's going to be a foot race down the sideline and finally brought down just short of the 45-yard line of the Sparkplugs.
Anquan Broner had a big game last week. This time he kind of did what was done on the first possession for Speedway. He bursts outside the numbers and gives them great field position. Now they have to make something happen to stay in the ball game with Speedway up 21-0 in the 2nd quarter.
And, you know, I know that Speedway's defense has played at a very high level so far in this game, but that was one of the big knocks, was talking about the special teams needing to do their jobs, needing to get in their lanes and prevent those big gains that we just saw right there.
The Titans, though, they have to find a way to get points. They haven't scored this season in that 64-0 loss last week. And this penalty is against Speedway. So that's their deepest penetration into territory here tonight.
And the Sparkplugs have been a little bit penalty stricken here in this game. Hasn't necessarily affected the scoreboard, but it has been noticed, and you have to wonder, you know, this isn't the only game on the season. They're going to have plenty more games, this being only week 2, so they're going to have to clean up those penalties for those games where they're actually playing in those close, tight games. Those big returns and those penalties are really going to matter.
Townsend works under center with the fullback straight behind, kind of a double wing look.
And the man comes in motion, but the ball is fumbled, and it should have been downed instantly. I believe Townsend had the knee down whenever he grabbed it.
Andrew Booker, the motion man showing the jet sweep there. And, you know, so far, Speedway has had success with the end arounds, the jet sweeps, but Arsenal Tech has not.
If I was Arsenal Tech right now, I think that the one place I would be avoiding would be the outside. Anytime that a play has gone toward the outside, it has been a little bit less successful because you've got players flying around like Sox and Stewart and those corner positions.
And then you have Chapman, who's kind of a free runner. He'll go through the A gap, the B gap. Just a tough matchup.
He's played right on that outside edge as a linebacker for most of this game.
I do like this from the Titans' perspective. They're taking their time offensively, trying to give their defense a rest.
We're approaching 9 minutes to go in this half. Arsenal Tech looking for their first score. And under center, Kajeri Townsend. So same last name. And that will be a gain of a yard.
Yeah, the running game hasn't gotten going so far for the Titans. Now it's third down.
And Townsend staying in the game. Calandre was the quarterback prior. He's had a couple of botches on the snap. You have to wonder if that didn't have to do with the decision to swap quarterbacks.
Different look. Almost a double slot first, but now trips to the left side.
That one was caught, but a penalty flag is on the play. And it looks like a neutral zone infraction. I'm sure that if you're the offense on that play, you might have wanted that one to continue because it ended up being a catch and run headed toward the end zone. But big storyline right now with Townsend coming into the game, just a freshman.
And that's an opportunity for them to get valuable reps. And it's just a different game here in high school compared to middle school. And you're still trying to develop players and athletes. So, you know, while it's great to get those reps, you have to be very careful as well.
Also, the stat that I'm not buying right now is Townsend is listed at 5'5". I'm looking out there, and I am not seeing a 5'5" quarterback.
No, not at all.
So it'll be third down and short now, following the penalty flag.
One thing I like about Speedway, the pressure can come from almost anywhere.
They were solid protectors of the end zone last week. Now pressure on the freshman and intercepted. Turnover on the throw, pressure in his face, and the Sparkplugs are back in business on the offense. That one was intercepted by number 33, Jan Joseph.
But it was Tyler Bailey, the sophomore, who set it up. He came and hit the quarterback. Look right here. And the throw off the back foot, an arid pass and an interception. Big stand for Speedway's defense.
Listed at 6'1", 195. The senior able to get that turnover. And now it's a long field in front of the Sparkplugs.
And now that really starts to wear down on the Titans. You still have 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Bishop gets the handoff to the outside. Forbes trying to find some space, and he does just that across the 25-yard line. And that is going to be a first down.
It's also a great run by Forbes because it was a long delay as Battle kind of waited till the last second. Little RPO action there. First down run. Forbes has been impressive in the game so far. He has runs of 23, 42, 28, and 12. Splash plays for him.
Well, they'll hand it off to him once again, and Forbes turns upfield, turns on the burners, bounces to the outside, across the 40-yard line in a foot race, and he is going to go down at the 10. Another big run for Forbes.
And he shakes it off, knows that, hey, he can't be stopped here in this half. That time he darts to the left and cuts it to the right-hand side. What a play. Look, he's running to the left boundary and just leaves them in the dust all the way to the right side. Big play by him. Just great vision as he's shown all first half.
61-yard gain on the play. So already in this game, he has 4 rushes of over 10 yards, with the biggest one coming on that last play.
Cessna Wells gets it left, breaks the tackle.
And he's still on his feet. Fighting into the end zone. A little wide receiver screen action for you.
So they motion him inside, and then he darts back outside on just a play like that. And it's just hard to stay with the receiver when he runs motion and cuts it back out.
Take a look again, just getting that outside, blockers in front, and actually didn't need the ball. I don't think that a white jersey in front of Cessna Wells made any contact on that play. He was able to just kind of do it with his hips.
Yeah, trying to stay with him was Leland Johnson, but again, he's got tough leverage for him as he's inside and he has to dart back out.
Third passing touchdown, and actually third touchdown on consecutive throws. His last 3 completions have all been touchdowns.
And it's kind of a slow start because, again, Battle was orchestrating the offense with long drives. But right now it's just efficient, and that's what you like if you're the Sparkplugs. You're in command, leading 27-0, and we're still not halfway through the second quarter.
126 rushing yards already for Forbes.
That's
as Bishop will kick. And looks to make this a 28-0 game here in just the first half, as that kick is up. And it is good. PAT's good, and I tell you what, the first kick of the season was off. Since then, Bishop's been money on every single PAT left in these first 6 quarters of the season.
And if you look back at the Speedway's offense the last 12, 13 games, it's been hard for them to score, but 2 straight games, they have 28 points tonight. Last week, they were able to get their offense going, and with their defense playing complementary football, they're a very dangerous team right now.
By the way, we mentioned that the quarterback in Connor Battle is tied for first in passing touchdowns. Well, he is now up to double digits, and we're only through the first quarter and a half of week 2.
Yeah, shout out to the Indy Star. I've read a lot of their articles, and they gave him some love this week. As coming off a breakout performance last week, but I think everybody knows his name right now. He's one of the hottest players and on one of the hottest teams so far.
Certainly making a splash, just a sophomore with the Sparkplugs. But the story today has been the rushing attack. We mentioned the 126 yards. It's actually 140 total rushing yards from the team in this game. if you include Keller Sox's 14 yards and a rushing touchdown as well. The big thing is we got to get Forbes into the end zone.
Yeah.
Has not seen the end zone as a rusher yet this season.
Well, there was one that was brought back.
Yes.
But yes, you are correct. And if you're Tech, this is a tough place to be in because they're just not built to score more than 21 points a game, and they're going to have to find a way to get something going offensively.
Bishop lays into this one. It will be once again returned from the 10-yard line. We'll see if this kick return team can clean things up, and they do a much better job that time as the return just goes 15 yards to the 25-yard line.
So Booker on the return. I want to see if they can get Anquan Broner, their senior 5'10", 165-pound wingback and free safeties. Led them in tackles with 10 last week, but just hasn't been able to get going offensively. He's in the game. And what's been hard for them is they haven't been able to find an offensive formation that works. The wing back has not worked. They've tried to go 2-3 wide, and again, they're going double wing here.
They do come out in a very similar formation to what we've seen.
Townsend will be under center.
And they actually do bring back out their original starting quarterback, Delandre Townsend, the junior, following the interception. And it'll be a dive play right up the middle, and that one goes absolutely nowhere. Pair of defensive tackles for Speedway getting the job done, and one of those, the captain, Tyler Bailey.
Also in on the tackle is Noah Manelis, the junior, from his linebacker spot. But that's the thing, if you can win on early downs for Speedway, you're in a much better spot because you can just blitz guys on third down and long. And so far haven't faced a strong throwing team yet.
Yeah, it's been really tough for Arsenal Tech to move the football, but it's been even more difficult whenever it's a situation where Speedway can kind of pin their ears back and they know where the ball's going to be going. Quick pressure this time from Chapman. He gets to the quarterback and he slams him down to the ground. A sack for Chapman.
He just uses his speed and says, I'm going to take over. Nathan Chapman sprints from the right edge, but they just can't block him tonight for the Titans as he just throws Delandre Townsend to the ground.
I do think that this is one of those situations where you're at the point where you cannot go on one. He is going to try to jump that count basically every single time. So you got to tell your offensive line, look, I am not snapping this football on one.
The thing is, they don't exactly have a tight end on that side to help.
No, they've got three guys down, and Chapman goes straight through, brings some pressure, but not able to get there. Doesn't matter, though, because Speedway is all over it, and again, it is Tyler Bailey making the tackle.
And if you're watching the Speedway film for their next couple games, you're a little concerned because of what they have shown in the speed department. You know, they've shown Forbes can run, and then defensively, they've just done a really good job of flowing to the football.
And a player down here for the Sparkplugs at the 10-yard line. So they take an official timeout.
You know what's interesting in this football game?
That went down with the injury was Ashola.
Yeah.
While we take the break, we'll tell you about Popcheff and Dinn. Popcheff and Dinn has been your trusted Speedway law firm for over 50 years, offering reliable, caring legal support to families and businesses in our community. Located at 5023 West 16th Street or online at popchefflaw.com. That's POPCHEFF law.com. Still taking the break, and as I mentioned, it is Mazid Ashola who is down on the ground right now for the Sparkplugs, and a very dynamic player for this team. We sure hope that he is all right as he is being tended to by the medical staff. of the Sparkplugs. Can go ahead and tell you what's coming up at halftime, or at least in the third quarter, that is, as Matt Arnold, the president of Speedway Junior Football, is going to be with us. They're also going to be honored at halftime, so we'll have that coverage with the public address announcer in your ear. And so I look forward to being able to talk with Matt about what's going on with that program, as well as, like I mentioned, those players are going to be honored at halftime. So you're not going to want to miss that. You're not going to want to miss the third quarter, where I have the opportunity to have that conversation with him. And it does look like Ashola is back up and being assisted off of the field. And so a good sign to see him back up. See, certainly in a little bit of pain, but we hope to see him back. Sparkplug leading in this game 28-0, and that was on a play that will now bring up 4th down and 20.
Yeah, and that's a big storyline in the game, that the Titans have just been unable to win on early downs really anywhere. Throughout the game. They've done some good on both sides, but when you get down to 3rd and 4th and long, really hurts your chances. And this is 4th and very long.
And it is Calandre Townsend that's back to punt for the Titans. He has yet to get a punt away that was not deflected by a Sparkplug hand. So Sox maybe going to be covering a little bit less ground back there in the punt return team, but they do get this one away off the tip of the foot. It's not going to go long. It does get a Titan bounce to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's really hurt them too, because you're averaging maybe 10, 15 yards a punt, and field position still favors the Sparkplugs.
Well, this might be one of the only games where I've seen 2 blocked punts, but they've both gone for positive yards. The first one went 10 yards. The next one went about 15 to 20 yards. That one obviously not deflected, but it didn't go much further. And so we are under 5 minutes to go in this first half. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. I expect that they will continue to use that rushing attack. Battle. Bunch formation to the left, back to pass. He's going to throw it to his halfback, Forbes. Forbes has some space. A flag going to come in. He breaks a tackle. He's got 15 yards, make it 17 yards on the play. He lost the football there at the end. Able to recover it, but I have a feeling that this is going to be coming back.
And that's the thing, it's just a flat pattern to the left-hand side. And a couple broken tackles to get the 1st down. Let's see what the flag is.
And it is a holding penalty. That is the initial signal against the Sparkplug. So that one's going to be moving back. Should be about 1st and 20 here to kick things off on this series. So again, time and time again, we've seen penalty flags going against the Sparkplugs. They've been able to answer the call against the adversity of those penalties throughout this game so far, but we'll see now with the long field and 1st and 20. By the way, Mazid Ashola has his helmet back on the sideline. Good sign. Does not necessarily mean that we'll see him back out there, but I do love to see that he is back on his feet unassisted with his helmet strapped. Sox comes out of the ball game. It'll be a run play to the outside. Blockers in front of Forbes. Forbes dances around, a stiff arm, but he does not get away from the defender. It'll be a 5-yard gain. That was a great job tackling for Xavier Williams. Thought for sure he was going to get left in the dust when he put down that stiff arm, but he stuck with it and made the tackle.
Yeah, pretty good first move, but Xavier Williams kind of read it and made the finishing tackle.
Short gain on the play. 2nd down and 17. And Sox wide open in the outside lane. One man to beat on the sideline, taken off toward the end zone and eventually drugged down out of bounds at the 10. Another 1st down for the Sparkplugs.
Sox has been a big-time playmaker in this game. That time again, just that flat pattern on the outside, and it's 1st and goal coming up. And again, very efficient game for Connor Battle. He's been reading the game very well in terms of, he hasn't taken too many deep shots, but he's found his safety valve.
And that's something that you don't necessarily expect from your sophomore quarterback, being able to read what's going on down the field and then taking your chances with the check down as the carry goes to Forbes. Forbes being pushed forward, and he'll be short of the 5-yard line. Tackled down at the 6, and a player for the Titans is down at the moment. His helmet is off, and so they will bring the training staff out for him. Actually, he jumps right back up to his feet.
Yeah, also a note, Ishol is back in the game. He was in the slot left on that time, so it's a good note because we know he's good enough to play football, so got to feel good about that if you're a Sparkplug fan.
That was Demarion Jones for Arsenal Tech, who quickly popped back up and got off the field, but there was a timeout on the field. So Speedway did take advantage of that a little bit, used it like it was a regular timeout, got a little water break in as they come back out here for 2nd down and goal from the 6. Four-man front, but they've got a whole lot of bodies on the line of scrimmage for Arsenal Tech. It's a bunch over to the right side. It'll be a keeper for the quarterback. Battle toward the end zone, breaks the plane, touchdown.
How about the decision by Battle getting his 1st rushing touchdown of his high school career on just a read option, and takes it to the left for a touchdown.
Well, not just a read option, but I don't think that the defense could have been in a better position to get fooled by that. Only one defender is outside of the read option for the quarterback. So if that guy collapses, it's an easy read for the sophomore quarterback to get into the end zone. He takes a little bit of contact at the goal line, but he pops back up, and so it's 6 more on the board for the Sparkplugs as the PAT upcoming.
It's also his 2nd run like that. Remember in the 1st quarter, he had a run between the tackles that was similar, and he's shown that he's willing to run inside.
PAT is up and good, and that makes it 35-0 in the 1st half. Another successful day for the sophomore quarterback, Connor Battle. 3 passing touchdowns, 1 on the ground. He's got 11 all-purpose touchdowns this season in just the first 6 quarters of the year.
Yeah, and it's just been a team effort so far because they've run the ball efficiently with Forbes too. And he's done such a good job of being efficient with the football, making the right decisions in tonight's game.
And the brightest spot on this offense is the fact that they've got a lot of different personnel that are capable of finding the end zone. We've had Chapman today, his 1st touchdown of the day, or of the season. Cessna Wells now has 4 receiving touchdowns. Sox has a rush today and a receiving touchdown today. He also had a pair last week. Forbes was able to get in the end zone last week. So a lot of different names, and now even the quarterback has dialed up his own number to get into the end zone. So we've got a lot of different faces finding 6 here for the Sparkplugs. And they also have not been held to a field goal yet this season.
And it's been a dominant game in all phases with 2.5 to go. in the first half.
Kick is away, and it's a liner straight to the 10-yard line. The return will go opposite side of the field, and he will be brought down eventually just across the 25-yard line. Another carry, another return for Andrew Booker. I swear, every time he touches the football, I'm just waiting for him to break one, because he's been very successful at finding open spaces on that kick return team.
Which they haven't been able to find that, you know, when they've had the football, and that's been a problem. And a big reason why is how Speedway has flown around the football defensively, and Tech just hasn't been able to win up front as many battles as they would have liked. It's 1st and 10. They're on 27.
And again, they will put the ball in the hands of Kalandre Townsend, and he will hand this off. Dive play to the right, and a flag is going to come in late. Not sure if one of the Speedway defenders got a piece of the face mask there.
Yeah, Xavier Williams with arguably one of the better plays on the night for Tech. Sprints for 9 yards. He's a 210-pound fullback.
And at the high school level, that's huge.
Yeah.
And it is a holding penalty, so that's going to be against the Titans. Just based on where the flag was going, that's why I assumed that that was probably going to be on the Sparkplugs, but fortunate for Speedway. So just like that, you mentioned, you know, possibly the best play of the game for the Titans, and then they're going to have to bring it back.
Yeah. And I think what's really hurt them too is that they have not been dangerous enough in their wide receiver sets. Twins left, one right here.
Townsend hands it off, this time to the left, and another flag going to come in after a gain of 6. So we'll see if it's the same call. That would move them back even further. We mentioned the penalties being a problem for the Sparkplugs. Well, right now we're seeing some back-to-back holding penalty action here on the Titans.
And one thing we haven't mentioned in a while, Tech hasn't scored yet this season.
Right.
They're shut out. They would love to get some positive plays offensively. Unfortunately for them, this penalty backs them inside their own 15-yard line.
It's 1st and 22, which is not a common thing to talk about, but back-to-back holding penalties have moved them back. And now they will try the same play, handing this one off, and it is swarmed for no gain.
On the tackle, Ige Mu on the stop. And this is a great opportunity for everyone to get involved for Speedway when the game is, I don't want to say out of hand, but with 1:10 remaining in the period, this will give everyone a chance to get reps.
Townsend gets the calls out. They've virtually run the same play 3 consecutive plays in a row. This time they'll try to bounce it outside, and a quick spin and tackle down after a gain of 3 was Andrew Booker.
And again, it's that split backfield set. That time one of the wings, Booker, runs up the middle. That's actually not a bad looking run. If he can burst it outside, he does it. Now it's 3rd and along 16.
So the assumption would be here on 3rd down and very long that you would have to be taking to the air. However, it looks like they're just going to let this clock run out. 7 seconds left on the clock, as they may just burn this, take it to the locker room, and avoid any possible mistakes. And that's exactly what they will do. 35-0, Alex. And what's the big takeaway from that first half?
You know, complete first half for Speedway. Hey, One thing they did really well is overcome some adversity early. They turned it over on that first play, and all they did was stay composed and keep focusing on the next play. I don't know what impressed me more, offensively or defensively. Let's start offensively. They were able to run the football with Forbes early on, and then they were able to make the big plays as well with Battle.
As we head into halftime, we'll turn it over to the public address announcer, Gannon Parker, as the Sparkplugs recognize the coaches and player from Speedway Junior Football.
We're excited to welcome the Speedway Youth Football teams to Johnson Field tonight. First, with the K through second roster, number 0, Easton Arnold. Number 1, Micah Lloyd. Number 2, Kaiser Carson. Number 4, Bowen Hendry. Number 5, Jacob Dumont. Number 7, Reese Sargent. Number 8, Jordan Sinkfield. Number 9, Cruz Carson. Number 10, Eric Sinkfield. Number 16, Malik Idrissa. Number 42, Ledger Seeley. Dallas Anderson. Willofson Joseph. Hendricks Demetkin. The K through second team is coached by Colin Carson. And now the third and fourth football team. Number 2, Elmer Fairs. Number 5, William Sasick. Number 7, Grant Hendry. Number 13, Patricio Donald. Number 15, Liam Brashear. Number 17, Leland Cook. Number 18, Twajindu Ejifora Freeman. Number 30, Silas Carroll. Number 34, Paul Clenard. Number 35, Aiden Porter. Number 60, Brentley Brown. Number 80, Weston Flum. Number 8, Joshua Lormis. And Jealous Esteem. The third and fourth team is coached by Scott Kelsey. And now for the fourth SR football team. Number 1, Beckett Arnold. Number 3, Maximus Howery. Number 4, Damon Castleton. Number 6, Braxton Brent. Number 9, Jace Sargent. Number 10, Bryson Mills. Number 12, Luke Morrow. Number 15, Liam Brashear. Number 21, Terrell Gordon. Number 36, Robbins Charles. Number 37, Ramel Watson. Number 41, Terrence Gordon. Number 46, Oletsienla Ogunabodebe. Number 48, Mohammed Idrissa. And number 58, Maxwell Stewart. The 4th SR team is coached by Matt Arnold. And now the 5th and 6th football team. Number 1, River Harold. Number 3, Grayson Arnold. Number 5, Obed Lormius. Number 11, Dylan French. Number 28, Jacoby Cook. Number 32, Jason Hernandez. Number 34, Adric Telfer. Number 39, Kaiser Sox. Number 40, Owen Horget. Number 43, Miguel Ferrero. Number 44, Wyatt Hutchison. Number 45, Liam Hamblin. Number 49, Julian Delahanty. Number 55, Braden Washburn. Number 56, Fransley Alexandre. Number 57, Joshua Onestill. Number 59, Dawson Mummert. And number 88, Ramon Heatston. The 5th and 6th team is coached by John Mummert. Once again, let's give a big round of applause for the future of Speedway football.
My name's Tyler Bailey. I play right tackle and D-end. Playing against Cardinal Ritter, our school rivalry, I got a tackle for loss, I think on 3rd down. We love the town. We love everybody around us. It's always a great day to be a Sparkplug school. Teachers, the way they show they care about you, make sure your grades are good and stuff like that. And yeah, just the community we have. If I have the opportunity, go play in college. And if not, then I'm just going to go to trade school. The team, the love we have for each other, and if I fall down, one of them are always going to pick me up. I can always rely on them to do their job. Never skip a football practice. It's most important to go to every single practice. Make sure you get lessons in and make sure to eat. You gotta eat a lot, get strong. Meat, protein, anything you can get in your body works. Give it your all the time.
Hi, I'm Tammy Smith, Parks Director for the Town of Speedway. Due to the weather, we have rescheduled our Spokes to Speed car show event. The new date is Saturday, September 12th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The new location will be at the American Legion Post 500 in Speedway. Please enter your vehicle, truck, car, motorcycle, bicycle, golf cart, anything on wheels. We want to see you join us for this event. Pre-registration is $15. It's $20 for the day of. The first 100 entrants will receive a free dash plaque and a goodie bag. You can pre-register by visiting Town of Speedway's website under Parks and Recreation. Due to the rescheduling, we have extended the registration time to noon that day. You can visit hometowngear.org/collections/fundraisers to purchase a one-of-a-kind limited edition Spokes to Speed 100 Years of Wheels t-shirt. Proceeds go to Speedway Parks and Recreations to help fund these many fun events that we're doing. So don't miss this fun event, Spokes to Speed Car Show, to celebrate the Town of Speedway's centennial. Come out and join us again on Saturday, September 12th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the American Legion Post 500 in Speedway. Thank you. Hi, I'm Tammy Smith, Parks Director for the Town of Speedway. I'm out here at beautiful Meadowood Park to invite you to this year's West Indy Art and Music Festival. This is our 6th year for the event, and we look forward to you joining us. The event is scheduled for Saturday, August 29th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Join us for live music, art and craft vendors, food trucks, and a beer and wine garden. This year's lineup of bands include Jazz Torino, Endless Paradise, Indianapolis Brass Choir, Crossroads Brass Band, Pride of Indy, Zionsville Concert Band, Indianapolis Municipal Band, and West Indy Winds. The food truck lineup includes Remy's Soul Food, Mr. Hibachi Loco, Bearded Burger, Sunshine Sips Lemonade, Gal's Fresh Fish, Rusted Silo, and Grinders. This year we have over 30 art and craft vendors, ranging from custom paintings and drawings to African drums, homemade crochet to custom-made jewelry. We look forward to you joining us on Saturday, August 29th, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you.
Welcome back to Ralph Johnson Field. Week number 2 here for the Speedway Sparkplugs, as they have so far taken care of business against the Arsenal Tech Titans 35-0. My name's Landon Kleindorfer, with me Alex Benzagala, and thank you so much for joining us. But Alex, we've got the highlights, and there were a plenty of them as we take a look at the highlights from that first half, and things just they started off wonky. The fumble on the kick return, but the defense did what they needed to do, and then the offense looked exactly like it did last week. Yeah, look at this fast start, run to the left, and a big play by Sox. He was all over the field in the first half. Yeah, and, you know, that was something that was pretty exceptional. Sox was so good on offense, now picking it up on defense. But the big day so far has been for Amani Forbes. 131 yards on the ground so far in today's game. Sox has also had 14 rushing yards getting into the end zone at singular time. But then again, it has been all defense all day. It has been a struggle so far for Calandre Townsend, who hasn't been able to find any forward motion on the offensive end for Arsenal Tech.
Yeah, and a big reason why Sox has made plays, but how about the first half of Nathan Chapman all over the field?
Yeah, Chapman, and as you see him on the offensive end, we're talking about him on the defensive end, and you see him just making plays, getting into the backfield, and really, although he doesn't make the tackle on that play, he's the one who brought that play as far back as it was. And then how about the high point for Keller Sox? He has had an exceptional day so far today.
And statistically for Battle, he hasn't thrown a ton of yards, but he has made a couple plays and a touchdown run, as we'll see momentarily.
It's looked a lot different. 116 yards through the air, 10 yards on the ground, but 4 total touchdowns. Not exactly the brand of football that we saw last week where we had 4 touchdowns that were of 47 yards or more. These touchdowns have been of the in the red zone variety. 18 yards, 3 yards, 12 yards, and then the rushing touchdown was on the read option for 6.
A touchdown catch, short catch by Miles Chesnowells as well. And how about this run outside the hash, and running that in is the quarterback, Connor Battle.
And you mentioned, you don't necessarily want to see your sophomore quarterback taking a lot of hits. You see one right there, but he pops right up. Maybe ringing that bell a little bit might be good for him as he gets a little bit tougher throughout these next few years. But he has been all toughness, it seems, all season long.
Okay.
At Linde Advanced Material Technologies, we believe young leaders are the future of our company. We proudly sponsor the Speedway High School STEAM Student of the Week. This week, Linde AMT, along with the Speedway Community Television and the Speedway High School Math Department, would like to recognize Max Murley. Max has shown great resolve when faced with challenges, staying focused and not giving up. He asks the clarifying questions and takes on extra work to gain a better understanding of the necessary skills. Max's great preparation allows to better comprehension of the material. He has also done a wonderful job of balancing his academic responsibilities with a rigorous athletic schedule, giving him time management skills that will help him later in life. Linde AMT thanks Max for the dedication, curiosity, and willingness to learn. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. From Speedway to space, Linde Advanced Material Technologies, making the world more productive.
Also, shout out to him. He's made a couple good catches in that first half,
It's not the first time that we've said his name today. Very impressive throughout so far. And as I mentioned, this is the junior football, youth junior football day. We celebrated, and you got to see those players honored at halftime. We are awaiting Matt Arnold, the Speedway Junior Football president, to come up here and join us in the booth, as we are just under 2 minutes to go until the second half. With the score being what it is, 35-0, we will have a running clock. So if you're curious why the clock's not stopping on incompletions and things like that, that is why. So Speedway, with that lead, have earned themselves a running clock, and that is really something that is exceptional to see. Last season, not necessarily something that was consistent, but this year the Sparkplugs offensively have been absolutely fantastic, and this Titans team has struggled in their first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's been offensively and defensively. So you got to be happy if you're a Plugs fan. And, hey, how about some statistics? We got some time? Let's go into some numbers.
Yes, we do. Right now, we mentioned the fact that it's been 116 total passing yards for Connor Battle. He actually had a spurt where 3 completions in a row were all touchdowns. Those were to Sox, Chesnowells, and Chapman. Chapman has been sort of a leader on the defensive end. I was excited because that was somebody I mentioned that could make an offensive impact during the pregame last week, but it's good to see him into the end zone. One player we're still waiting on is Finter. He's a captain. He's been targeted down the field. That pass just missed. It touched the fingertips, but he just couldn't bring that one in, a little bit overthrown, but we're still waiting to see him get into the end zone. But how exceptional is it how many different players can score for this team?
Yeah, and if you can win on early downs, that's huge for them. They've committed some penalties that have hurt them, and that early turnover on the return. Other than that, it's been a really, really clean game for them.
Yeah, something we've talked about throughout this entire game, and I'm sure that we will be continuing that conversation into next week, is just the fact that the penalties have really put them in bad positions, but the defense has been able to bail them out. The offense has been able to pick up those yards back going the other way. But when these are going to be closer games down the stretch and they're needing some wins, they cannot have those procedural issues. They cannot have holding penalties, and they really can't have 15-yard variety type penalties like we saw on the one kickoff. Speaking of the kickoff, the special teams is another thing that needs to be cleaned up. We've already had one return to the 50-yard line after a penalty flag moved them back 15 yards, and then there was an additional penalty that moved them even further beyond that. So they need to be able to clean up special teams. They need to be able to clean up those penalty flags as well.
Field position has helped them because the Titans have really struggled in the punting game.
Yes.
But, you know, and if you're a Tech Titans fan, hey, you just want to get on the board right now and get some confidence, get their juice going, because right now on their sideline, it's just they've been worn down by a lot of players starting on both ways. And the way Speedway plays, they can like to wear people down, and they've shown that by running the football tonight.
Yeah, and with the way that the edges have rushed has been, the pass rush, I should say, has been exceptional for this Sparkplug team. And so we will look forward to seeing that more and more as this game continues and as the season continues as well. I don't think Chapman's going away anytime soon. He will continue to be a bright spot on the defensive end for this team. Just about ready for the kickoff here in the second half. It was the Sparkplugs who returned the opening kickoff, but it was the Titans who started on offense because of a fumble on that kickoff return. But since then, it has been all Sparkplugs, but that just means that the Titans are going to start with the football here. They elected to not push their luck on third and very long to end that first half, more than likely because they knew that they'd be getting the football back right here. The key return guy for this team so far has been Andrew Booker, as this one's actually bobbled down at the 5-yard line for Booker. So he's going to have to recover a little bit, and he does just that across the 25-yard line. A fairly decent return considering that he had a tough time handling that kick.
And he's been one of those guys who has shown pretty good speed in this game so far. I'd like to see if Anquan Broner can get a little bit of touches for them. But again, they've shown a couple of different formations. They like that double wing formation. But let's see if they can get the passing game going as well.
As we mentioned, a 35-0 game means that the clock will run. The ball would be spotted at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Titans. The defense has not hardly given up anything throughout this entire game, even when the Titans started on the Sparkplug 30-yard line, first possession of the game. They'll start with a run up the middle, and that's not going to go anywhere. I believe it's actually a tackle for loss of just a yard. So the defense picking up where they left off in the first half.
One thing for Speedway, they show a 4-man front, but they have 2 linebackers that show blitz. So it's really 6, 7, 8 guys coming at you at once, and that can really wear on an offensive line and tight ends.
So 2nd down and 11 as more personnel coming out here for the Titans. Still in at quarterback is Kalandre Townsend. He struggled with a couple of snaps that ended up hitting the turf. He was benched there for one series. That series resulted in an interception. He was put right back into the game after that, and that is where he's been the rest of the way. But they have not thrown since then, as that is going to be a gain of a couple.
This time, Tech runs away from Chapman to the opposite side, and they're able to gain a couple yards. 3rd and 8 is better than what they've been in
Not
lately.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
I would avoid that as well if I was the offense.
The issue is for Tech, they haven't really thrown a completion of more than 5 yards, I don't think. So at some point, when you're 3rd and long, you have to make some plays.
So directly behind the quarterback is the halfback, Xavier Williams. Townsend will be back to pass. He will launch this one down the field. Sox is the closest receiver, and he catches it in stride as if he was the one running the route. He's going to take it to the 40, still with a head of steam, trying to send this one the other way, making a few men miss. He's going to change direction on the field, still alive. A flag's going to come in as he's tackled down at the 34. Big turnover here to start the second half.
The first deep shot by Arsenal Tech in this game. They took a shot, and the safety makes the play. What a play by Keller Sox over the top.
And perfect timing following the interception and turnover to bring in our second guest of the day, Matt Arnold, the Speedway Junior Football president, here to tell us about Speedway Junior Football. What are some of the things that are exciting that are happening right now?
We're excited. Our season just got started about 2 weeks ago. We got 4 teams this year. Numbers are bigger than they were last year, which is always good. We got a first, second grade, kindergarten through second grade team, third grade, fourth grade, and then a fifth and sixth grade. So,
well, we appreciate you joining us here to talk about this program. Obviously, the youth programs in the community, ever important, but how cool is it to get them out there on that high school field?
They love it.
One of the most beautiful high school fields you're going to see in the state of Indiana, and they get to come out and be honored at halftime.
Oh, they love it. They were looking forward to that all week. That's one of the biggest things they look forward to all year, honestly. Just to come out and watch the older kids play and then get a chance to go out at halftime is pretty cool for them, absolutely.
Huge first down there for Ashola as they are going to have the ball around the 20-yard line now for Speedway. But, Matt, tell me, this program, you mentioned the rise in interest from last year to this year. What kind of differences do you think what's bringing more people to this youth program?
I think we started a flag program last year. We've had it for a couple of years. Last year was our first kind of big year we did with the high school coaches. They come out on the main field, get to play here, and it kind of gives them some interest to do tackle the next year, I think. So we start that up in about 2 weeks, so we're still looking for more kids to do that, and hopefully they turn into some tackle kids for next year.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully they eventually turn into Sparkplugs, because it's been all Sparkplugs,
yes.
Not just all game long, all season long. The first 2 games have been exceptional, and I'm sure that has been a huge boost to the community as well.
It makes every time we look good, it makes the kids want to go out here and do what these kids are doing. So it's fun to watch the boys win for sure.
So how long does this program last through the fall?
We start middle of July, and we usually run through, if we keep winning, we play till about the first weekend of October.
Awesome.
Yes.
And then whenever you're wanting to get involved coming into the next year,
Yep.
What's that process like?
We usually start registrations. We'll start putting stuff out this spring. The teachers at the schools have been pretty good about giving it out. We'll take registrations, and then we'll start practicing usually first part of July.
Another passing touchdown, by the way, as they're back on the board, 41-0, and that time it was Logan Moore, the senior, coming away with that touchdown in the end zone. Another passing touchdown. That is going to be passing touchdown number 10 or number 11 on the season for the sophomore quarterback, and that one, a beautiful throw up the middle. Looks a little bit different than last week's game. I was talking about that. Seems like every single pass was 47 yards or more. Now they're actually playing in the red zone a little bit, getting a little bit more experience.
Yes, not as much airing it out tonight. A little shorter fields.
But anyways, Matt, I appreciate you coming up here.
Absolutely.
Obviously, the Sparkplugs are on fire. Hopefully your program as well will be on fire throughout.
Definitely.
And as you said, if they keep on winning, they keep on playing.
That's
what we're hoping for.
Absolutely.
If you are a community member, please get involved with the program as well, because, every single year players are filtering out, and you need to filter new players in. So that's what it's all about in the community. But thank you so much for everything
appreciate you having us up. Thank you.
And so during that, another big touchdown and another big moment for the Sparkplugs. But again, just want to give a big shout out to Matt Arnold and the entire Speedway Junior Football program, doing great things for the community. Both the basketball and the football program are seemingly getting a lot more juice. Obviously, the basketball program coming back for the first time in just a couple of years, and then the football program hoping for the most success as they move forward through the fall.
Yeah, and right now it's just a case of trying to keep that momentum. And, you know, we've seen it at the youth level. We saw it last night in volleyball. You just want to continue to work hard, play well, and see the fruits of your labor shown on the night of your competition. And so far, we've seen that from the football team. We've seen it all around here at Speedway. And right now, it's just trying to keep it going if you're a spark plug.
And that marks 4 passing touchdowns on the game for Connor Battle. 5 total touchdowns, had 1 on the ground as well. And it's all systems go for the Sparkplugs as that ball is muffed again, second possession in a row, but again able to keep things alive and eventually take that one to the 20-yard line. Another decent return for Booker.
I like Booker. He really does a good job of spinning out of tackles, showcasing his speed. The problem is he just hasn't been able to break the big one on this Speedway defense.
It's actually kind of surprising because Booker did get a few touches on the offensive side to start the game, but we really haven't seen him get the amount of carries that we saw there in the early first quarter.
No, not at all. He's in the backfield. He's kind of shifted into kind of a slot formation here on the right.
He just seems like one of those players, just based off of his special teams, that he's just a guy you want to get the football in his hands and see what happens. But they will throw a screen pass this time out to the left side, and that will be just short of the first down marker, a 9-yard gain. No flags this time, so that actually might be the best play so far on the offensive side for the Titans.
Yeah, and I've called his name a couple times. Anquan Broner, their leading tackler last week, makes the play there and sets up second and short. That's where they've wanted to be. The problem is they've been in third and fourth and long most of the game.
Under 4 minutes of game left here in the third quarter. 42-0 is the score with the Plugs on top. Titans looking at a 2nd down and 1, and they will throw that outside, and it's intercepted. Pick 6 for the Sparkplugs.
What a play. The flare to the right side, and Logan Moore reads it all the way. Has a touchdown reception in this quarter, adds a pick 6 right there. Let's look at the replay. He just threw the ball too high, and it takes a deflection off of Moore's hands, and he's able to corral the football and find the end zone.
Good hands from the defensive back that time. He did bobble it there for a moment, was able to bring it in. And, you know, with it being just 1 yard for that first down, to try to get the momentum, and it's being a lob pass over there toward the outside on that screen pass, and the Plugs just take advantage.
Sometimes when you're down by a lot, you start pressing a little bit, and the extra point is good. Out of the hold of Kelly Sox. No, I don't know when the last time this Sparkplugs program has scored over 50.
Point after try is good.
But right now, if you're a Sparkplug fan, one of the biggest things is that they're winning, they're scoring a lot, and they're not giving up a lot of points. Only 19 points last week to Heritage Christian. And you look at their last season, this is a Speedway team that gave up a lot of points, and they weren't able to score a lot of points. So far, this is just a big turnaround, and you can start to argue maybe Speedway through 2 weeks might be one of the biggest surprises in the state.
I think that's a very valid statement to make, but, I mean, what a happy surprise. I mean, you bring in this sophomore, you've got a lot of guys with familiarity from last season. I mean, whether you're talking about Cessna Wells, Chapman, Ashola, Finter, Sox, Forbes, every single one of those players are making an impact. And even players like Stewart, who had the receiving touchdown on that last possession, and then Logan Moore, who had that pick six, those were the two guys that were going back and forth for the quarterback position last year. A lot of times players could be daunted by the fact that they are being moved positions from one season to the next. They have clearly shown out, and they are showing up and buying into this program.
And we don't give enough props in football to the offensive and defensive lines either. And they've done a really good job of keeping Cotter Battle safe, doing a good job of giving him time to throw the football. And defensively, a lot of issues with their linebackers showing pressure with Chapman and their front up front.
And the return this time, once again, is going to be Booker. Booker, contact made at the 25-yard line, and that's where he will go down.
Blake Stewart among the first there to make the stop. Jordan McCrum there as well from his linebacker positions. And now this is where we're going to start to see those second units come in with 2.5 to go in the third, and a 49-0 lead for Speedway.
And the last time they led 49-0 was back in 2022 in a Week 4 matchup, and that was against Indianapolis Cardinal Ritter. And so you see how much the offense has changed since then.
And on the other side for Arsenal Tech, they're trying to find any gasp of something positive after the turnover.
It is 1st and 10. A timeout going to be taken by Arsenal Tech. VP Insurance works with a wide range of providers to find the right policy for your needs. Located in and serving the Speedway community since 1974, our experienced agents work for you, not the insurance companies. With competitive rates and personalized service, VP Insurance helps you protect what matters most.
I also want to add there's like an orange moon. You see
Yes,
that?
I just peeked up and noticed that as well. A little bit ominous
Yeah.
in there in the back area. The American Legion is the nation's largest veteran service organization. Founded in Speedway in 1941, American Legion Post 500 is committed to supporting American veterans, mentoring youth, and community sponsorship. Located at 1926 Georgetown Road, the club room is open to the public with a full menu. More information about the Legion and the Legion events is available at SpeedwayLegionPost500.com. American Legion Post 500, veterans serving veterans and the community.
First down and 10. 49-0 the count from the 25-yard line. Tech looking to get some positive yards after just throwing a pick six. One receiver left, twins to the left on first down, showing pressure from the right-hand side. Draw to the middle. Short gain? No, loss of one.
And you mentioned actually, with the Plugs, 49-0 is obviously a big lead. There have been a couple of games where they've been close to that margin, but how about the fact that it's been 4 years since they put up 49 points, I should say, in a game.
And tonight they did it on the ground, and I think that's what really excites people. Forbes' ground game has been outstanding. Quarterback battle. Coming off a 7-touchdown game last week. He has 3 tonight. And for Tech, I'm actually rooting for them to find the end zone potentially, try to spark plug their season. 2nd and 11, own 24-yard line. Desmond Howell is in the game. Twin receivers on either side showing heavy pressure. Draw up the middle. And between the hash mark, run to the 31-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down.
And right now, I mentioned that running clock, 44 seconds left. As they drain this one down, it looks like we'll be about one play away from heading into the 4th quarter.
And this might be a throwing down, but remember what happened earlier, that interception by Keller Sox?
Yeah.
Were you trying to return it?
Or also we had the pick six, just the possession after that. So back-to-back possessions with interceptions. But right now they're going to run with 3 receivers over to the right side. So it does seem as though they're going to be throwing here. No, they're going to hand this off right up the middle. The pile is pushing toward the first down marker. The officials are right there at the 35-yard line. We'll see if they give it to them. And it looks like they are. So it's going to be a first down carry that time when you would have expected it to be a passing play.
And that's the first down of this half. Maybe almost, I don't want to say the whole game, but we haven't kept track of first down. They haven't had many in this game.
I actually do believe that should be the first marked first down. Their best chance, they had that 9-yard carry on the last possession, but ended up going screen pass, and it was a pick six going the opposite direction. So, fourth quarter of action, heading into it. You have to expect probably going to get some other bodies out there. Yeah. So what's the expectation? What are you trying to make sure that you achieve in the fourth quarter if you're Speedway?
You don't get hurt. You got to make sure you stay healthy and just try to get some reps for guys that don't always get those varsity reps. But there's players who deserve to play football and get those who have worked really hard and put those kids in.
Well, I can tell you right now, there is a certain number 18 who is not out there on the defensive side. So possibly they are trying to avoid some of those injuries while also getting some fresh legs, some new players in there to give them some opportunities as well. But it is first down and 10 from the 35-yard line, and it will be a pass booting outside. It looks like the quarterback just going to try to take it himself, and it will be sacked down. Townsend could not get away from pressure.
Yeah, the first man there, Ben Fertile, the sophomore, forces him to the outside, and Speedway cleans him up at the end.
And it's good to see. You don't have your main edge presence that has been in the backfield. Both Sox and Chapman, both of those players, not out there right now and still being able to apply pressure in the outside.
Great opportunity for guys like McCrum as well. He's in there. He might have made that last tackle from his linebacker position.
And by the way, the quarterback, Townsend, now down on the ground. He was tapping his helmet, wanting to have someone come and get him, and instead he decides to take a seat on the hash mark. He will hobble his way to the sideline now.
Also, I'd like to see Speedway run the ball with their second-string running back. We've seen Forbes. I'm not sure who that is, actually. So maybe this is an opportunity to get somebody those reps.
Well, the other halfback that we did see was Reynoso, had a couple of carries, been in the backfield typically after a big run or a couple of carries from Forbes to try to give him a breather, keep his legs fresh. So that is one player that we've seen out there, the senior. But other than him, we will get to see a couple of different names more than likely on the offensive side.
Also quarterback, we should potentially see another quarterback in.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see if that is a swap to bring in one of the quarterbacks from last year, which would be either Logan Moore or Blake Stewart. But Noah Harold is actually listed as the other quarterback on this roster. So he is the 6-foot sophomore on the roster.
And as we edge closer to the end of the football game, we are in the fourth quarter. 49-0 the count for Tech. It's just been one of those tough nights for them, and they just picked up a first down on this drive as they're still looking for their first points this season.
And it is unfortunate to see that quarterback in Townsend go down. He's really been fighting throughout this game. He's taken quite a few hard licks in the game so far. And that's going to once again bring in Kajeri Townsend.
So that time double slot formation, 2 on either side, and just the missed handle of the snap. It's been one of those tough nights at the office for Arsenal Tech. Third down and 10.
For Tech.
Yeah,
There you go.
For Tech, yeah. The pick six. And that's the big key for Speedway. They've had the momentum plays, especially in the second half.
Yeah, and you're bringing in a freshman quarterback right now. The good news is obviously not going against necessarily the same pressure that they've seen in these last 3 quarters. But at the same time, I think the message this freshman quarterback needs to be like, hey, there's nothing to lose here right now. We're just trying to put together a good drive. And right now it is 3rd down and 10. Townsend will fake the throw and now go down the field. Open receiver, throws it short, and that one goes off of the fingertips of the defender. The defender there was Eli Cox.
Again, the half roll to the left, faked it to the flat, and then the deep throw. And again, he just underthrew that by just a little bit.
I genuinely think that was the best play call the entire night, because after that fake, a lot of people bit. There was one defender covering 2 receivers on that play. If that was put in position, it could have really been a nice game.
And now Arsenal Tech forced to punt, something that has not gone well for them in this game.
By the way, their punter's hurt.
Yeah. This is probably the best one.
Bounces and rolls toward the 25-yard line, and it will eventually stop. The nice thing about that turf field, if you're a punter, if you can get that thing to roll, it's going to roll a mile. Not something that I necessarily had to deal with. I'm not sure about you, but once the grass comes in, that ball didn't quite have that natural roll like it does today. But really winds up being a very nice punt.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, if you're Arsenal Tech, you're just looking for positives in the game. And, you know, the effort has been there for them, but Speedway has just been able to outmatch them in a lot of different ways.
I did see a number 7 out there, which would be Harold.
First down and 10.
And that's exactly who's out there taking snaps now for Speedway. Noah Harold, the sophomore.
Freshman outside left in the game.
And they'll actually go to the jet sweep to the outside, and that is Eli Cox. Cox gets to the line of scrimmage before being taken down.
Yeah, a lot of freshmen in the game right now for the Plugs, leading 49-0.
And I'm sure that they will take their time on each of these plays, between plays, not only obviously to run clock, but also you've got a lot of young players out there making sure everybody understands their assignments and that there's no confusion.
And again, you get to run different formations. Right now it's trips to the left, one to the right.
It's Francois to the right of the quarterback as this one lofted over the head of the intended receiver that time, Bo Beiswinger.
And you have to be careful there, because if it's a little bit too far left, it's considered a fumble.
Yeah, that was, I think that Beiswinger let that one go, and then he kind of took a double look at it. He wasn't sure if that one was forward or backward. Fortunately for the Sparkplugs, it was a forward pass. Two receivers over to the left side, 2 to the right. Here on 3rd down, another pass attempt. This one down the field and overthrows the intended receiver. That time was Memdana, another freshman receiver.
Yeah, just a seam route that time down the left seam. Just a little overthrow there, and looks like it's the first stop for the Arsenal Tech defense in the game.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen the punt unit come out here. Eli Bishop has done everything else. He's kicked his PATs, he's been the kickoff specialist, but he does do all 3 roles in the kicking department for the Sparkplugs.
Mari Forbes is in the game at the moment.
That's one of those situations you want to make sure that the operations are still sound. As this punt is high in the air, it will take a Sparkplug bounce toward the 30-yard line, as it will stop dead just across the white line of the 30. So a really nice punt that time.
Yeah. Back-to-back nice punts by both teams.
Figured his leg might be a little bit worn out.
Yeah.
7 PATs kicked so far in the game.
Sox was in the game, and a lot of the first unit on the punt team.
And there are quite a few new faces out there. Here on the near side, Alante Gills, a sophomore defensive back. Phoenix Hunger, a senior out there.
been fertile.
But now it's back to the freshman. The pitch play outside, and that was just disastrous. The defense getting in there, making another big play. And the cool thing, you know, this is a freshman quarterback going against a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, so it still feels like equal territory, and they are making plays right now.
Jordan McCrum just sprints in from his linebacker position. He gets credited with the sack there, and he is fired up. Look at that. And, you know, they're just trying to keep that momentum going.
They've done just that. Second down and 16 after the big tackle for loss from the pitch play. 4.5 minutes to go here in the game. And they'll just hand this off right up the middle, just a halfback dive, and it is difficult bringing him down. That is a bulky body to try to bring down for some underclassmen.
Xavier Williams, a 210, 5'11 senior. Physical run up the middle. Third down and 10.
Third down and 10.
I mean, he's my size. A little taller.
Yeah. But that's the thing for Tech, you know, you just want to try to finish the game strong with under 4 minutes to go.
A couple more substitutions going to come in for Arsenal Tech. Get that play call in. Not much of a rush, but would be huge if they did get on the board. As we mentioned, scoreless in their first game and now currently scoreless in this 49-0 ball game.
Three-man rush here.
Townsend will fire, and he's got an open receiver, and it is caught.
You know, a big part of that Speedway has been bringing all game a lot of pressure. That time they drop back, and Tech's able to make a play.
That one was just lobbed up for grabs, and he just kind of fell right underneath that one, had to wait on it, similar to what you would see from a punt.
An out route, deep route by Broner, Anquan Broner. You know, if this team for Tech is able to get back into games and be competitive, they need Anquan Broner to be one of those playmakers for them.
Now Tech's offense in business here with 2.5 minutes to go. 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. And it'll be a handoff up the middle. And eventually it'll be Williams taken down by the defense. Took about 5 or 6 white jerseys to finally get him on the ground.
Yeah, hard to see who made that tackle, but looked like Eli Cox helped with it. Game winding down, but so far, if you're a Sparkplug fan, you're pleased with what has transpired tonight.
A lot of mascots, you oftentimes will try to do a play on words with whenever a group tackle happens. Would that be a charge of Sparkplugs?
Well, that's a good one. I don't know.
They're also smaller. You could literally just say a handful.
A pack of.
Yeah, exactly. Run up the middle that time, and it's a first down. And with the carry is number 31, who, again, is not listed in the lineup.
And, you know, that and one of the biggest issues for this Titans team is they just haven't been able to win on early downs, and their offense has really stagnated early, but they're trying to orchestrate a drive here.
So again, Townsend under center, hands this one off up the middle, and that one will go for a decent gain of 5. At Linde Advanced Material Technologies, we're committed to supporting the community we've called home for over 100 years. From creating career opportunities to cheering on our local schools, we're honored to have our global headquarters in the heart of Speedway. More information about Linde AMT and our current open positions is available at www.linde-amt.com. From Speedway to space, Linde Advanced Material Technologies, making the world more productive. It'll be 2nd down and 6 here as the clock now under 30, and they boost the play clock. So actually they could run this completely out, or they could run one final play. We'll see if they just try to take a shot to the end zone and get something on the board. And they will drop back to pass. The receiver is wide open, and that one's intercepted. Picked off. Eli Cox dropped one earlier, but makes the grab on that one as he will finalize things. And like you mentioned, that receiver was wide open down the field, but Speedway able to force another turnover, and they will cap off this shutout game. The most points that we've seen in over a half decade.
And what a big night. But there will be some coaches looking at that play and say, hey, you got to throw that deep to the hash. And unfortunately for Arsenal Tech, they're unable to find the end zone. Speedway, dominant night.
Yeah, you know, I was just going to say, with the way that the offense played in that first half, but especially the way that the defense played throughout the entirety of the game, save whenever they brought out their starters, obviously things changed a little bit. Arsenal Tech was able to move the football a bit more, but still no scores. Final thoughts, Alex, on what you saw from the offense and then what you saw from the defense?
Well, overall, you're pleased because Speedway was able to overcome some tough plays early on. They got going in that first quarter and just pulled away since. I'm pleased first with what I saw with Connor Battle. He had a big night tonight, but not with the same amount of yards and touchdowns last week. He found the end zone twice in the run game, and then the fact that they got the running game going and shut down the opposite running game, that's a big reason why they won.
Well, be sure to tune in. We've got another game in this 3-week stretch at home. It'll be Triton Central coming into Ralph Johnson Field. We would like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Linde Advanced Material Technologies, making our world more productive. Speedway Lions Club, serving the Speedway community since 1937. First Financial Bank. Banking is about neighbors helping neighbors, and it always will be. Member FDIC. 2020 Eye Physicians of Indiana, the high-quality eye care patients deserve. American Legion Post 500 Treasure Hunt every Thursday, open to the public. VP Insurance, helping protect what matters most. Popcheff and Dinn, reliable, caring legal support for the Speedway community. ISC Sports Network, local lives here. And Swan Insurance Solutions, LLC, health insurance with you in mind. Tonight's final in Speedway, the Sparkplugs win it 49-0. On behalf of the Speedway Community Television team, we thank you for tuning in to our coverage of Speedway Sparkplug football. Join us again next week as the Plugs do host Triton Central Tigers in the first Hoosier Legends Conference game of the season right here at Johnson Field and on the Speedway Sports Network on SCTV. For Alex Benzagala, my name's Landon Kleindorfer. Enjoy the rest of the first day of the rest of your life and have a great weekend.